Today we'll be discussing about the 6 steps to how to become unique, right? So let me share a screen with you. Why do you need to be unique? Because that is how you will establish your identity, right? That is what we have in mind. So let me share my screen. This is the first day of my resourcefulness influencing. So, if you know why I do resourcefulness, is because everybody in this world has been born with two unique qualities, two unique skills at least, and the experience with which the skill is presented, that makes it a lot more variables can be created. Two skills plus lot many experiences, those with permutations and combinations can become unique skills, because the experience of two people are never the same. So from the beginning of the childhood, the experiences and the upbringing that you have been uh, facing or encountered, that makes you unique as it is, plus your skills. So because the two circumstances of two people are never similar, that is why you will become very unique once you recognize your skills plus the experience with which to make the permutations and combinations. So it is the other day my mentor was telling me that even if there is a weakness story about your personality, he was doing a personality test and a strength test and then a passion test. So with this test, what he was trying to identify is, he was trying to identify 34 of my skills, 34 of my strengths, spread over 4 domains, and 16 types of personality. He was trying to identify which kind of personality I belong to. So every personality has four variables again. So 34 qualities, 34 strengths, four leadership qualities, plus passion with which I am born. You know, this is numerous kind of permutations and combination can be uh, can happen from this. So even if two people are, like say, have two identical personalities, but they won't have the same strengths. 34 strength, that will be, and each strength has 1 2 4 3 4 5 grading. So it makes like a huge permutation and combination. Unless you undergo that, you will not be able to know. So in those kind of combinations, some combinations will be very very weak. Even then you can make that powerful, because that is part of your strength, part of your personality, right? So the first module that I teach to you is reborn with resourcefulness. The day you discover your resourcefulness, you are reborn. So you will be a completely different kind of person. Don't you agree? So that is the first module that you will be undergoing under this course. Then the second is core values, set priorities. So I was watching the interview of Siddharth Rajsekar with the super wealthy motivational speaker, Dr. John DeMartini, and he was saying like say how to find out your purpose in life. You know, unless you have a purpose, you your life is kind of, it will be unfulfilled, right? So your purpose has to be bigger than you. And and how to find that purpose? How do you know which you are born? What is your use in this life? So to know that, you have to identify your core values. And the foremost, you have to identify six of your core values, because there are numerous values. Out of that, you have to identify, you might be identifying with so many values, but the top six values are really your core values. And with that six core values, also the first one is your priority values. And that priority value, will learn this in the second module, about what is your core value and how to identify that. You know, I am having a student who actually has this core values. He has a lot of contradictions in his life, so he has to set his core values. And once he set his six core values, he is, like say, within himself here there is a lot of conflict going on, whether he has left out some value or not. There are too many priorities for him. He is not able to fix, unless suppose your family is the priority, your job is the priority, your resourcefulness is the priority, your work is the priority. If all of them are priorities, then which one is, suppose there are different circumstances coming at once to you, so which one you will decide? So that is why you need to put something ahead. That is how you will decide as to which one you should work for, you should give value for. That is why you have to identify this first six values, and the first value is around which your purpose revolves. That is how you know your purpose. My purpose, for the example, is dignity. So anything I do that has to do with dignity, and with dignity, there comes integrity, honesty, abundance, right? Unless I have money, how can I have dignity? Because anybody can manipulate me, right? So that is why the second module is about having core values and setting priorities. The third is standing out in a crowd. Uniqueness is all about being different from the crowd, right? So like say, there can be 10 managers in your organization, but how you are different from all those, that depends on the depth and the depth of your vision and mission statement. How clear you are about your vision, how you can execute, that actually makes you stand out. So you have to have a vision, very broad vision, and very mm, like say futuristic. And the mission is how to execute it, the how and what. If you know, then you have the clarity, and that makes you stand out. That makes you very strong, right? The fourth one is about goal setting. Now, once you are done with your vision statement, how to achieve that vision is the mission statement. And the short term milestone that you set for yourself is goal setting. So that has to be uh, in 90 days, 90 days duration. So first 90 days you set those small goals, and mind you, you have to improve your version. Whatever version you are right now, with that you are not going to get your ultimate vision. So that is why you have to continuously improve upon your version, so that version is achieved in a 90 days period, because it takes time to build that habit, right? So you have to have that goal setting is a bigger goal setting, like say 5 years plan. After that you set 1 year plan, and then you have to have 90 days plan. So whatever you achieve or don't achieve in a 90 days period, it defines your next 90 days. If you haven't achieved, then you have failed. So whatever you have failed with, that one you try to correct in the next 90 days, and ultimately that goal will be achieved, because you are not stagnant at any point of time. You are continuously working on that. Then the this one is the fourth thing, and the fifth thing is backstories of resourceful influencing. So each of us has sometime in life has used resourcefulness when there was no resource for you to execute, and that is the hero stories. When you have nothing in your command, still you have executed something. That is the story with everybody. So it requires some self reflection, and those achievements, even if you have failed in that resourceful venture of yours, that guilt is there, and because it was a past experience, you have learned from there, and you express your vulnerability of that failure, and with that you can connect with the other people who are having that kind of journey as yours, because whoever I am teaching are like me, and they have this similar kind of journey, and they have the similar successes and failure as I have. Those are the similarities, right? And the last one is there are different leadership styles. As I told you in the beginning of this lecture, there are different leadership styles, and that leadership style has to be integrated into whatever skills and experience that you have, and then make a winning story. That is how you will find your uniqueness. And this is about day one day one of the and day one of the course that I have, right? And that is the module one. So how do you find it? Do you find it very inspiring? That will be my course curriculum in the first day. So thank you for watching. Sorry. And the description will be is given below this video, wherein you can register for free for my webinar, or you can come to my class also. So if you find this to be useful for yourself, then you can come to my class also. Mind you, this is for doubling your income. So unless you correct some of your habits, perception, and you do your time management, that discipline has to be inculcated before you can get result. So please join me in my community, wherein we'll correct all this kind of, everybody has some kind of fault in his or her characters, right? So that we will correct. And thank you for watching. Thank you.